Welcome back to the Love and Light Method, where psychology meets philosophy to transform lives. Today we're talking about a man whose work has impacted millions of people around the world, Viktor Frankl. Frankl was a psychiatrist, neurologist, and a Holocaust survivor. He experienced unimaginable suffering, losing his family and enduring years in a concentration camp. Yet, from one of history's darkest chapters came one of the most powerful ideas ever written. He believed that while we can't always choose what happens to us, we can always choose our response. That idea completely changed the way we look at life. Most of us have asked, why is this happening to me? I've asked that question. Maybe you have too. But Viktor Frankl encouraged us to ask a different question. What is this experience teaching me? That single shift moves us from feeling powerless to becoming active participants in our own growth. Psychology tells us that our thoughts influence our emotions, and our emotions influence our actions, and our actions shape our lives. If we continually tell ourselves that suffering has no purpose, we often become trapped in hopelessness. But if we begin looking for meaning, something remarkable happens. We begin to grow. Frankl wrote that those who had a reason to keep going were often able to endure extraordinary hardship. Purpose doesn't erase pain, but it gives pain direction. If I've experienced this in my own life. There have been moments I never would have chosen, moments filled with uncertainty, illness, setbacks, and fear. At the time, I couldn't understand why they were happening, but looking back, I can clearly see what they gave me. They taught me resilience, patience, compassion, gratitude. They strengthened my faith. Most importantly, they gave me a purpose. Without those experiences, I wouldn't be sitting here today, helping others navigate their own storms. That's why I believe our greatest struggles often become our greatest teachers. Psychologists call this post-traumatic growth. It's the idea that adversity doesn't just leave scars. Sometimes it leaves wisdom. Sometimes it reveals strength we never knew we had. Sometimes it changes the direction of our lives for the better. That doesn't mean suffering is good. No one should seek pain. But when pain arrives, as it inevitably does, we have a choice. We can allow it to define us, or we can allow it to develop us. That's where philosophy and psychology meet. Philosophy asks us how to live. Psychology helps us understand how the mind works. Together, they remind us that growth is always possible. One of my favorite reminders is that your story isn't finished yet. The chapter you are in today isn't the ending. It's simply one chapter in a much larger book. Every difficult season is preparing you for something you can't yet see. Sometimes that preparation becomes your purpose. Sometimes your healing becomes someone else's hope. As a mindset coach, I don't believe we should ignore pain. I believe we should acknowledge it, learn from it, and allow it to shape us into wiser, stronger, and more compassionate people. That's the heart of the Love and Light method, not avoiding life storms, learning how to walk through them with hope. If today's message resonated with you, I'd love to hear from you. What's one difficult experience that eventually became one of your greatest lessons? Share it in the comments below. And if you're ready to find purpose in your own journey, I offer complimentary coaching calls. I'd be honored to help you discover the strengths that are already within you. The Love and Light challenge this week is think about one challenge you've overcome. Instead of focusing on what it took from you, write down 3 things it gave you. You might discover that your greatest pain has already begun shaping your greatest purpose. Remember, your past is a chapter, not the whole story. The pen is still in your hands. Write a life you're proud to live. Love the life you live and live the life you love. This is the Love and Light method, where psychology meets philosophy to help transform lives. As always, I'm sending you so much love and so much light. Till next time, bye.